Hi guys, Valentina here, ValentinaPetrovaConsulting.com with a short video on work-life balance. That's increasingly an interesting topic to people. No surprise there, according to Harvard Business School survey, a recent survey. 94% of working professionals are working 50 hours a week when our regular work week is about 40 hours, right? That's considered full time. So about 94% of professional people are working at least 50 hours a week. And about half of working professionals are working 65 hours a week. So this is a lot of time spent at work, a huge chunk of your life spent at work. If you're single, have no hobbies, and that's all you do, maybe that's okay, but you still might be really stressed out and on the verge of burning out at that kind of a working schedule. So work-life balance is something people are more and more interested in. So I decided to put out a video. And hopefully I'll hear my own advice, right? Because I'm one of the people that likes to work a lot and I get lost in my projects. Self-employed people tend to dig in even more than folks who work at offices, but still, a lot of us work way too much. So my first tip out of 7 tips on work-life balance is get over perfectionism. So don't fuss, do a good job, be conscientious about what you're doing, but don't over fuss over the little details for no particular reason. It just eats up your time and stresses you out, and sometimes you just have to go along with what's the best you can do at the moment. I always tell people, every situation, every project, every task, every job has a fudge factor. That's what I call it, a fudge factor. Like a bandwidth of possibilities where you're good. You're good. You don't need to go beyond that. It's like, it's doing the job. It's decent. It's helpful. It's good quality. It doesn't have to be perfect. So that will free up some time and relieve some stress. The second tip I have is create no work zones. Perhaps your entire house is a no work zone if you work outside of the house. When you work in the house, a lot of people these days have home offices. The whole house is a work zone, like you're working everywhere. In that case, have a little office and the rest of the house is a no work zone. Your bedroom should be a no work zone every time you're in it. No work zone. So create no work zones where you can go and retreat. You can literally retreat into your no work zone and think about something else other than work. The third thing that goes with the no work zones is unplug. There was a recent study, actually not that recent, maybe a couple of years ago, that the average person looks at their phone 150 times a day. By now, it's probably more. I mean, we're literally tethered to their phones. It's like a 6th finger or something, like another hand. We can't live without our phones. So we're constantly within reach, email, text, all kinds of ways. I have friends who try to reach me via email. If I don't respond, they text me. If I don't respond, they Viber me. If I don't respond, they WhatsApp me. It's like, if I'm not responding the first 2 times, I'm probably not going to respond no matter how you message me. Facebook or Instagram or whatever. So unplug and be very strict about your unplugging hours. So maybe you decide, I'm just going to be not available after 6 p.m. I don't care what happens. Unless you're a doctor or work at the ER or something where you're on call and that is part of your job. If you're not on call, you don't have to be on call. You don't have to be reachable 24/7. You can have working hours like it used to be in the olden days. In front of the store, there were working hours from 9 to 5. Well, you're not available for work-related inquiries after 5. Even if you have your phone on, turn it off. There's all kinds of ways to do that. You can put yourself on airplane mode. You can put yourself on a do not disturb mode. Just unplug your tablets, your phones, your computers. Make yourself unavailable and communicate that to your coworkers. Communicate that to everybody. Put your email on autoresponder after 6 p.m., for example. So whoever emails you gets an automatic message that says, sorry, I'm not available. I will get back to you tomorrow morning, first thing. And that way you protect vigilantly your free time. That goes to the fourth thing, which is time management. So time management is a skill to acquire and perfect over time as more and more demands on our time are presented. So one of the first things is evaluate your activities and the people in your life and cut off all wasteful activity and all people who are wasting your time. Find ways to limit contacts. If they're family members, cut them off. Short, the conversation that's taking half an hour that means nothing, maybe 10 minutes, and you tell them, sorry, I need to move on. One way I do this is when I have people call me that I know that are very chatty and I know I don't have time to chat with them. As soon as I pick up the phone, like, hey, I'm glad to hear from you, but I only have 5 minutes. So what's up? And then 5 minutes are up and I'm like, I gotta go, thanks for calling. That was fun, whatever I can say. And then I gotta go. So up front, you tell them how much time you're gonna give them and you limit that time to what's comfortable for you. Otherwise, they'll take way more than what's comfortable for you. So all kinds of wasteful activities that waste time. I have friends who at 3 o'clock in the afternoon decide to smoke pot and then fall asleep till 5 or 6. And then they're worried that, oh my God, I didn't get my shit done. And then they stress out. So identify how you're wasting time, including time scrolling through social media, looking at things that don't matter, cat videos or something like that. How do you waste your time? Identify those activities and shrink them down to a minimum or get rid of them completely. Scheduling your days ahead of time. Schedule your week ahead of time so that you know what's coming and you can prepare. And when other things come up, you can say, I'm not available. That way you don't bite more than you can chew. So you can say no. People call you up, especially if you're known to be willing to volunteer or to help out or to, you're basically at everybody's beck and call. People are going to keep pestering you. If you make yourself available, they're going to keep asking things from you. And you can't stop them because they know you're going to respond. So by scheduling your days and your weeks ahead of time and knowing what's going on, including scheduling time for yourself in those days and weeks, when something comes up, you look at your calendar and you say, oh, guess what? I'm not available. I'd love to help you out, but I'm not available. Or you can say, I only got an hour here. Is that enough? And then you stick to the hour. So by scheduling yourself, you protect your time. By saying no, you eliminate unnecessary load on your plate, unnecessary workload, unnecessary responsibilities, and you diminish your stress. So you have more time for yourself, for your family, and for the things that you enjoy. Another way to free up some time is delegate. So that might be more relevant to certain kinds of people and certain kinds of situations and not so much for, let's say, self-employed people who are like one man for everything. But maybe you can still find ways to delegate. So what do you do all day long, and what of what you do could be delegatable? So it's freeing up time that you can use for yourself or to plan ahead or however you want to. Spend time with family, with your children, with your pets, doing activities that you like. And what can you delegate to others? Maybe you need an assistant. Maybe there are certain things that you're just not good at doing, but you're doing them anyway. So it's taking you a lot of time and it's stressing you out. Well, maybe your accountant can pick up that, or maybe somebody else can pick up that. Somebody can clean the house for you. If you're a high earner, it's not really worth your time to be cleaning your house. If you make $60, $70, $80 an hour, if you're a high producer, or even if you make $35 an hour or $25 an hour, still might be worth for you to hire someone who's making 15 or 20 bucks an hour to clean your house, or to do your gardening, or to go shopping for you. Nowadays you can automate your shopping with, depending where you are, they got Amazon, they've got some of the local grocery stores offer grocery delivery. Just ask at your grocery store. So maybe you can eliminate that task off your plate. So on the way home, instead of spending an hour at the grocery store, you can just go home and have an extra hour, and the groceries are waiting for you on the front door. So think about all these things and how you can free up time by delegating some of the responsibilities and some of the tasks that you're doing that somebody else could do for cheaper, or just to lighten up your load. The sixth suggestion that I have is get physical and get mindful. So somewhere in your day, built in time to move. It doesn't have to be a lot. You can go to the gym, you can take a yoga class, you can go for a walk. Some of these activities you can do with your loved ones, like your significant other or your children. You can go for walks. Build time to unwind, essentially. The physical activities that you choose, the workouts, they're fun, they're social, and they help you digest or assimilate the stress of the day, so that by the time you get home, you feel more of a whole human, rather than your mind is way too active, you can't sleep, and everything else that happens with overworking. And then how about learn some meditation and learn how to be mindful, because the mindfulness that you learn can be used, becomes part of you, and you can use it in your work life. So you make less mistakes, you focus better, you respond better to people, and you know yourself better. If you're mindful, you can be more aware of if you're tired, if you're overloaded, if you are saying yes for the wrong reasons, so you can say no. So mindfulness goes a long way. Learning some mindfulness practices will be super helpful for you to create a work-life balance. And the last point that I like to make, the seventh point, is ease into this new program. It's very difficult for a person who's working 65 hours a week to just all of a sudden have balance. For one thing, you're wound up, really tightly wound up. So you've been functioning under a lot of stress with a lot of adrenaline for God knows how long. So for you to just drop everything and all of a sudden try to do everything right actually will stress you out more. It's like, okay, now I have to find time to go to the gym, and now I have to find this, and I have to do this. So instead, ease into this work-life balance strategy slowly. Like, do one thing. Okay, I'm gonna do one yoga class a week, or I'm gonna put my email on autoresponder, or I'm gonna silence my phone after 6 p.m. Like, do little things and slowly add on as you get used to the new program. And it's almost like you need to convince yourself that you're really not indispensable. So if people want you to work 65 hours a week, you don't actually have to say yes. So start slowly, build up on your success. Once you get used to one thing, maybe add another thing. Maybe now you can do your walks. You can do a yoga class once or twice a week, and then walk once or twice a week. You can do little bits here, little bits there, and watch how that's making a difference. And within a short time, you will find out how much more you enjoy this new life strategy, rearranging things around, and you will become very protective of your time. And then the balance will be something that is natural to you, just as working 65 hours a week was natural to you. All right, well, that's my little spiel on work-life balance. If you would like me to address other topics, comment below. And also, you can email me, valentinapetrovaconsulting.com. That's my website. You go to my website, right in the beginning, there's a form there. You can send me an email with your comments or your suggestions, and I'll be happy to entertain them. Please subscribe to my channel right down there, this little red button. Click it, and then you'll get my next video when it is released. And whatever you see that you like, please share with your friends. Be good to your friends. This is information that all of us need. So spread the word, And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.